Hello, you are welcome to this course titled AI Assisted Project Writing Online Course. My name is Pat Ugu and you are welcome. Before we begin this course proper, there is a brief introduction I would like you to listen so that we'll clear the background before we begin. Take a look. Writing the final year academic research project can be tough and challenging for many undergraduate students. Why some of the students seek help from lecturers and fellow students, most of them go to different online platforms to buy already made projects. The problem with this kind of projects gotten from online is that the students will always be thrown off balance whenever the project supervisor tweak the project topic or asks for any changes within the project. Because of this, we have developed this comprehensive online AI-assisted research project writing to help you write your project by yourself using the power of artificial intelligence. The course is divided into different lessons like choosing the project topics and research type, writing of the preliminary pages, AI-powered chapters writing, data collection and analysis with AI, implementation, reference and citation, and a whole lot of things. We will not just teach you how to write your project with AI assistance. We will also teach you how to avoid plagiarism and unethical use of AI tools. Please note that this course is specifically designed for undergraduate students, but it can still be useful for anybody. I will also advise you to follow the course sequentially so you don't miss anything. For some topics that are outside the scope of this course, just like how to create Google Form, you can find them in my YouTube channel. Just search for Uncle Pat Ugu. Remember, English language is my second language, so do not be judgmental. Just focus on the message. If you are ready, let's dive into the course. Okay. Now that the background information is out of the way, it is time for us to begin. But in order to begin, we will also need to get some overview about academic research projects. What do we even mean by research projects? Let us begin and take them one after another. Coming to the overview, academic projects are research-based assignments undertaken by higher institution final year students. The aim is to get them to demonstrate their understanding of a particular subject or field. These projects involve investigating research questions, collecting and analyzing data, and presenting findings clearly. So this is the general understanding of what academic research project is all about. Then second one is the importance of this academic project. So there are so many importance of academic projects, and some of them are to develop critical thinking and problem solving skills. Another one is to enhance research and analytical skills. In number 3, we have to encourage original thinking and creativity. Number 4 is to foster independence and self-directed learning. And finally, in our list is to prepare students for professional work and research in their chosen field. These are some of the importance of projects. Another thing we will look at is the objectives of academic projects. The primary objectives of academic projects include to demonstrate a deep understanding of a specific research topic. Again, is to develop and apply research skills, including data collection and analysis. Number 3 is to present findings in a clear, concise, and well-structured manner. Finally, is to contribute to the body of knowledge in a particular field or discipline. Some of these things are interwoven, but then I believe you have gotten the gist. Now, the next thing we'll look at is types of research projects. There are so many types of research projects, but we have just highlighted few of them here. we have fundamental research, we have applied research, experimental research, correlational research, research and development, and so many of them. We have action research, basic research, and many of them. In fact, some of them are grouped into different categories. But I don't want this course to be like theoretical course. It is a practical course where we'll be learning how to use AI to enhance our research project writing. So what I will do is that I will include a PDF in this course that will show you all the research topic and how you can select the particular one you will need for your final year project. Here is where we are ending for this very first lesson, because this is just like the general understanding of what research is all about. Join us in this course as we introduce the next lesson. See you in the next class. Welcome back to the course. We are now in lesson 2. I believe that lesson 1 helps you to understand what this course is all about and why it is important. In this lesson 2, we are going to look at the structure of an academic project. As you can see, the academic project is structured into 3. This may not be the official, generally accepted structure, but I am just using this to explain this course. So we have divided it into 3. That is the preliminary pages, the chapters, that is basically from chapter 1 to chapter 5. Then the closing pages. We'll be taking them one after another. Now we'll be beginning with preliminary pages. What do we mean by preliminary pages? When you come to preliminary pages, the very first thing you see in every academic project is the cover page. So this cover page can be thick cover or soft binding depending on your level and the institution preference. Before you even start to write a project, what you will need to do is to get a project written in your own institution. I remember when I was doing my postgraduate program, my supervisor then insisted that I must read like 15 project research written by others. By doing so, I will have to get myself familiarized with the format and how project is written. So what you need to do is to get a project, either 2 or 3 from your school and particularly from your department, so that you will see how they normally design their cover page. The cover page and the title page are basically the same thing. The write-up are the same, except that the title page will have the word title at the top, but at the cover page you won't have such a thing. And when you are writing your cover page, the title of your project is usually not more than 22 characters. This may differ from school to school, but this is generally accepted so that it will not be too big and cover a lot of place in your cover page, or even too scanty. Okay, there are other things, you will get to learn them as we proceed. Then after project cover page and title, there are tips you can use to select your project title, that is your project topic. We have some tips here. Number 1 is to identify your interest. So when you are writing a project, you don't just choose any projects that you see online or wherever. So you choose based on your interest. This will have some benefits if you must continue in academic line. Number 2 is to review current literature. You check what others have written concerning that topic. Number 3 is to consider relevance and significance. So the project we are writing must not be an outdated project. It must be something relevant and significant. In number 4, you have to narrow it down to something you can be able to manage. Number 5, you have to assess the feasibility, whether it is even possible for you to complete that particular project. In number 6, we will seek guidance from experts. So you don't just rely on your own knowledge, you work with your supervisor and with other lecturers. You can also work with students who may have 1 or 2 things to tell you. Number 7 is to check for originality. So you don't just start doing something that has been done before. You remember that popular saying, don't reinvent the wheel. If somebody have done something, you don't need to do it again. Number 8 is also to consider the ethical and practical implication. So it's not because you have interest about your president or your governor. You started researching the private life of a family and something like that. So you consider the ethical and the implication of what you are about to do. Number 9 is to align with your institutional priorities. So each institution have something that they hold of higher interest. Your project should also go in the same alignment. There are so many other tips that will also help you, and that is why this course is AI assisted. You will get to see how we will be using AI to get information and brainstorm with the artificial intelligence chatbots. Now let us start to use AI to enhance our project writing. As we said before, this is not a theoretical course but a practical oriented course. We are going to start by asking AI to give us suggestions for project topics. The very first one we are going to use is ChatGPT, the popular ChatGPT. I know you must have used it to do one thing or another. In case you haven't used it, all you need to do is to come to this place and type chatgpt.com. It will ask you to sign up. Once you sign up, you will be presented to this environment. ChatGPT has also improved a lot. Like now, we now have something like Explore GPTs. If you click here, you will see different GPTs you can use. These are different technologies that you can use, from writing, productivity, and all of that. But we are not going to use those GPTs. We are going to use our normal ChatGPT 3.5. If you want to pay for 4.0, you can upgrade here. Now, in order to begin, I'll ask ChatGPT to generate academic research projects topic suggestions in the business administration department. After entering my prompts, I will click on this button so that it will start to generate these project topics for me. So as you can see, ChatGPT have started generating these project topics for me. But a closer look at these shows that these topics looks like seminar topics and not like a project topic. Okay, I don't mean you can use it to do your project, but you know, project topics usually have two variables. Let us add a follow-up question so that ChatGPT will correct it. So I will say, make it look like a research topic. Then I'll click next. So we now have more suggestions that are more like a research topic, at least the kind we have in our country. Okay. Remember, you can also get your project topics online, but the problem with that is if your supervisor changes that, you may be thrown out of balance. But with ChatGPT, you can always find your way, and that is why we are doing this course. Now, let us go back and finish off the lesson. Next page is approval or certification page. So many institutions will have both approval page and certification page. While some institutions will just have only approval page, and some other institutions will have just certification page. Remember, I said you get a project written in your department to know what is obtainable there. What do you do in approval or certification page? You just make a statement showing that you are certified to carry out this particular research. Again, is that the authorities involved will sign for you. People like your HOD, your supervisor, maybe the dean of the faculty, and so on. Then we'll get to the next page, which is dedication page. In dedication page, usually you dedicate to one person. So you look for whether your father, your mother, or even to God, you normally dedicate to one person. So in your dedication, you make it short and simple. You state the significance. When you say you are dedicating to your father or to whoever, you state why you are doing that, the significance of that person in your project research work or in your academic pursuits. Also remember to use personal tone. Then we'll have acknowledgement page. Now, when you are doing your acknowledgements, you highlight their contribution, others' contribution towards your education or the success of that project research work. So after highlighting their contribution, you also remember to organize them categorically, not scattering their names. Like after acknowledging your HOD, you go and acknowledge your father for paying your school fees. Then you come back and remember your supervisor. No. If you are facing your lecturer, you write everything about them. You acknowledge all of them. Then when it comes to your parents, you write the people you want to acknowledge. For your friends and other people, you do it in an organized, orderly manner. Again, is that you should remember to use their correct title. You see some students writing their lecturer who is a professor or academic doctor, they will just go and put Mr. before their name. This may put you into problems. So use their correct titles. Okay, assuming you want to write your acknowledgement and you don't know where to start. Remember I said you should have someone's project at hand so that it will guide you as you write your own. Maybe you don't like the format or the pattern of that person's own. You just want something new. Yeah, AI can help you. So let us enter this prompt for our acknowledgement. I said, generate an idea for project writing for the acknowledgement page. I would like to recognize the contributions of my lecturers, parents, and friends. Then I'll click next. So ChatGPT will now do what? Write acknowledgement page for us. But remember, ChatGPT or AI doesn't know the name of your lecturer. Do you see it here? And their contribution. So you don't just go to AI, generate content and put it in your project work. You still have to do what? Do your due diligence. You have to take your time, rework them. The AI is just there for idea. I hope you understand. The next page is the abstract page. This is where it gets tougher, but this shouldn't be tough. Remember, we'll be using AI that will assist us. I will show you how to do this. Okay? Now, when you are writing your abstract page, the very first thing that should be in your mind is that you will have to state what you did and how you did it. That is your project, what you did in your project, and explain how you did it. That's just that. And when you are doing that, you use simple and straightforward language. Avoid vague statements and focus on specific details. Accurately reflect the content of your research. Keep it brief, typically 150 words to 250 words, so that it will not be too big. Remember that your acknowledgements will only have just one paragraph and you use one line spacing, not double line spacing. Okay? This time around, we are going to use AI to generate our abstract. As you know, abstract is always difficult for many students, especially undergraduate students. Now, let us ask ChatGPT to generate an abstract for us. So, I'll enter this prompt. So, what I did here is to give it a particular project topic. Let's read. I did a research project on gender differences in senior secondary school certificate examination chemistry in Ikorodu local government area of Lagos State. I use descriptive statistics for my study. Generate an abstract for me. So after writing this, I will now click on enter so that ChatGPT will generate the abstract for me. So we'll give it a time for it to work around it. As you can see, the AI has started generating an abstract for us. If you notice, you will see that ChatGPT has included second paragraph for us. In our theoretical part, we said you don't use two paragraphs, you use just one. Okay? So you are going to ignore all these paragraphs. Now you have to read through to see if what the AI generated is correct. Then you make your own input, don't just copy. The AI doesn't exactly know what you did. So this thing is just to generate idea. Then with this idea, you'll be able to do your work by yourself. Okay? Okay, let us go back to conclude this particular lesson. And The next page is content pages. Yeah, the reason why I group them together as content pages is we have the very first one, which is table of contents, all your projects, and the page number where they fell in, you have to write them out in your table of contents. Again, if you have some tables, tables that you use within your project, you are going to make a list of all of them. The same thing, you do the same thing for list of figures. Graphic figures that you use in your project work, you make a list of all of them. This is the end of this particular lesson. I hope it was helpful. Please join me as we continue in this journey. At the end of this course, you won't have to pay anybody to write your project again. See you in the next lesson. You are welcome back to the course. In this lesson, we are going to discuss how to write the chapters. We'll be starting with chapter 1 and chapter 2 in this lesson. So we are starting with chapter 1, the introduction. It is in chapter 1 that you do your introduction and get your readers or anybody who is looking at your project to understand what your project is all about. I understand you can also do that with abstract, but it is in chapter 1 that you now start to break them down. So what we have in chapter 1 is the background of the study. Here is where you give general knowledge on the study you are about to carry. So that is what you write in your background of the study. Remember, I said you should get an already written project and look at how they wrote their own so that you get idea on how to write your own. Also remember that you should not be copying another person's project. That will be called plagiarism. Don't worry, because we are going to learn how to generate all of these things using artificial intelligence. Let me also remind you that you don't just copy content from AI. I'll walk you through on how to do this so that your project will be free from plagiarism. Remember also, there is ethical ways of using AI. Now, coming to statements of the problem, this is where you state what the problem is, because you don't just come out and start writing a project that won't solve any problem. It is because there is a problem. That is why you are looking for a solution to solve that problem. After that, you state the purpose of the study, why you are interested and why you are studying that project in order to solve the problem. What will guide you in your project work is your research question and hypothesis. So many departments may not require you to include hypothesis, whereas in some institutions it is mandatory. Whatever that is the case, AI will help you to do this, and you are going to see them as we proceed. After that, you write the significance of the study, why your project work is significant in our society. Next is the scope of the study. Remember, you can't be solving the entire world problem. You write the scope, what is covered and what is not covered. Finally, you do definition of terms. Some institutions have removed this definition of terms because what students normally do is to define something that is not relevant. You see them defining teacher, defining classroom. Who doesn't know the meaning of teacher or classroom? So when you are doing definition of terms, it should be technical terms. Otherwise, you remove them entirely. So this is all you do with chapter 1. Let me show you how to generate them using AI. Now that we have started writing our chapters, beginning from chapter 1, let us see how AI will help us. I can start a fresh page if I want. Otherwise, I can continue with this. Whatever is your preference. Let me give it a prompt. Look at this prompt. I said, write a background of the study for a project research on the same topic. You understand? I'm using the same topic. Remember that AI doesn't know you are the one that will prompt it. Tell it what to do. That is what we mean by prompt. Later, I will show you how to get good prompts from the same AI. Okay? Now, when I click search, it will write the background of the study for us. Do you see? You don't need to pay anybody to write your projects. AI is there to help you, but you must use it what? Ethically. You must use it ethically. You can see it has written the background of the study for us. And I can go on to prompt AI to continue writing. For example, if I ask you to write the statement of the problem, you know it is AI, it is intelligent, it will understand the topic he has written before and continue in that line. I don't need to add the entire prompt again. So if I click enter now, it will continue to write statements of the problem for me. I hope you understand this and this is just helpful. This is fantastic. AI is doing marvelous. So you don't have to reject AI saying that it is making you to be lazy. No, it is the world we are in. When we started using calculator, we lost so many things. AI is doing the same thing, but can we run away from it? No, you have to embrace it and use it to improve your productivity. Now, assuming that you don't like this particular paragraph, you feel that the sentences there are not well okay, you mean you want it to be more organized or to be organized differently. There is another AI tool that can help you. We call it paraphrasing tool. So the paraphrasing tool we are going to use today is called Quillbot. Let's go to it. So what I will do before we get to that place is to copy this. Then you just go to quillbot.com. This is it, quillbot.com. Then you enter your text. I just did a paste. These two options are free to use. If you want to use other ones like academic, creative, and the rest of them, you have to be on paid version. You will as well choose whether you will be using English UK or English US. Then you will click on paraphrase. Remember that the free version will only allow 130 words or thereabouts. So when I click on paraphrase, it will start to work and paraphrase the text. So instead of saying the lack of comprehensive data, it now says the absence of the thorough information and analysis, And again, you can still click on any of them to choose another phrase. At the end, you copy it into your work. Remember, again, I know why I am giving this warning. You must read through. Don't just lift things from anywhere and put in your project work. After that, this is chapter 2. In chapter 2, this is where you write your literature review. It is now called Review of Related Literature. You have theoretical framework, empirical review, conceptual framework, gaps in the literature, and conclusion. These terminologies might be difficult for some undergraduates to understand. That is why we are employing AI to help us. Okay? But before we get to our system, let me try to explain them. For theoretical framework, a theoretical framework is a structure that explains how different ideas and concepts are related to each other. It is like a map that shows how your research fits into existing theories and ideas. What you do in a theoretical framework is to look for theories and ideas that are related to your own project. You then bring them in and showcase them. Let me give you an example. I will be using education faculty. That is where I have my training. But this thing is applicable in every other faculty, especially in social sciences and education. Okay? By social sciences, I mean accounting, business administration, and the rest of them. Let us look at this theory called social cognitive theory. So if I want to write a theoretical framework and I am employing social cognitive theory, what is the meaning of social cognitive theory? It is a framework that explains how learning is influenced by observing others, imitating behavior, and reinforcement. So this thing can be used in a research on how students learn social skills through observing teachers' behavior. So you will now write about this particular theory. After that, you get another theory. That is how you write your chapter 2 theoretical framework. When you are done with that, you go to empirical review. What do we mean by empirical review? An empirical review is a summary of previous research studies that have used data and evidence to answer a research question. It is like a review of what is already been discovered about a topic. In your own work, you look for other studies that are related to your own. Then you review them. Shortly, I will show you an example of how to use AI to write some of these things. I will also show you other AI tools that can be used to find citation easily. Then the next thing you will need to do is to write your conceptual framework. What is conceptual framework? A conceptual framework is a diagram or visual representation that shows how different ideas and concepts are related to each other. It is like a mind map that helps you organize your thoughts. I have a material that shows the examples of these things, but there is no point bringing these examples here. They are eventually going to make this video to be too long because we'll be learning how to use AI to generate some of these examples. So why are we learning this if not to apply AI in our research? And we'll have gaps in literature. What do we mean by gaps in literature? What kind of things do you write there? Gaps in the literature refer to areas where there is a lack of research or understanding about a specific topic. It is like finding a missing piece in a puzzle that needs to be filled in. So remember that you'll be reviewing other people's work under empirical review. So what you now do in your gaps in the literature is to bring in what was not in others people's work that you reviewed, and your own is going to fill that gap. You said this person wrote about this thing, but he didn't do this. His work didn't cover this place. Meanwhile, your own work will be filling that gap. It will be covering there and there. That is what you write in gaps in the literature. At the end of the day, you write your conclusion. So it is time for us to practicalize this. So follow me as I turn on to my computer. Now, to write your chapter 2, that is theoretical framework, we are going to use another AI tool. That AI tool is what we'll be using to write our theoretical framework so that the AI will write it for us. Okay? The one we'll be using first is Meta AI, but it's not the Meta AI that will write it for us. The problem is that the one that will write it for us will not be able to describe to that one the exact thing we need. So we want Meta AI to help us to generate a prompt. This prompt will now do the description for us. So let's do that. I'm now telling Meta AI to suggest a prompt that will be used to generate chapter 2 of a research project to write the theoretical framework on the topic, the same topic. Okay? So what basically Meta AI will be doing for us is to generate a prompt for us. So if I now say search, Meta AI will go to work and write the prompt for us. Do you see the prompts now? Because if you are the one that wants to describe this prompt to the AI, you may not be able to do it in detail like this. So Meta AI has done it for us. So all I will do is to copy the prompts. I will now go to Cloud. Because if I start to do it in Meta usually generates short paragraphs. So it will not write enough thing for us. So that's why I'll be using another AI known as Cloud. Cloud tends to output longer paragraphs. It will also ask you to sign up using your account. Once you have done that, you enter the prompt generated by Meta for you. Then click on search. So Cloud will go on and write this chapter 2 for us. Look at it. Chapter 2 is started with the introduction, gender socialization theory, stereotype threat theory, self-efficacy theory, as you can see. So it's really doing the theoretical framework for us. And it's even entered to do conceptual framework, but I will suggest that you do those ones separately. You do conceptual framework separately. If you look at what Cloud AI did here, you will see that it also included citation for us. You can see the citations. You can see them here. Okay, I will still show you how to get more citation. When you are done with this one, you can also fact check to be sure that all this information are true. You can use your normal Google search to check if this information Cloud AI projected here for us, that they are okay. Now, assuming you just want to get more citation other than these ones here, you can use citation tools like Quibots. Let's go back to Quibots. You remember we use this Quibots for paraphrasing. They also have citation tool. So when you come to this left side corner, you will see citation generator. Let's click on it. Once you click on it, you enter your topic. I'm going to enter the same project topic we have been using. Once I do that, I'll click on Cite button, and it will generate some projects written in this particular topic. So these are research work. If you change it to book, it will filter some book and the rest of them. Maybe the reason why we have just these two is because I am too specific. If I remove maybe Lagos State, or remove chemistry, or remove gender differences, it will help to pull more data for us. That will be the end for this lesson. I hope it is now getting interesting. Can you see it? You can write your project by yourself. See you in the next lesson. Welcome back to this lesson. As you can see, we are gradually coming to the end of the course. In this lesson, we'll be looking at chapter 3. We'll go through to chapter 5, which will be the end of the whole chapters. Now, what do you do in chapter 3? In chapter 3 is where we'll have research methodology. Some students may make mistake and call it research method. It's not a research method, but research methodology. In chapter 3, the very first thing you have is research design. What do you do in research design? You explain the design of your research, how you are going to write your research. You can employ the two methods that we have explained. It is either you are using another person's project to get idea, or you are prompting AI to write it for you. Then you change it. Remember, the AI is just to generate idea. Otherwise, it will be flagged as plagiarized content. After your research design, the next thing is area of study. You state the area where your study is taking place, then the population of the study. After your population of study, you also write about the sample of the study. Let me explain. Population of the study is the entire population you are using. Assuming you are using 4 schools, say you are carrying out about secondary schools, and you are using 4 secondary schools, 2 in rural area and 2 in urban area. Assuming they have 1,000 students in each school, you won't be using the entire 4,000 students to carry out your research. Rather, you will select few numbers from them and use it. That is what we call sample. Whatever results you get from this sample is assumed to be the entire population. Next one is your data collection method. How do you intend to collect your data? Are you going to administer it through interview or through questionnaire? Your method of data collection. You also state your data analysis techniques, how you are going to analyze your data. What tools are you going to use for the data analysis? By tools, I mean statistical tools. Then we also have data collection instruments, validity and reliability. These may not be the same in all institutions. What do we mean by validity and reliability? If you are saying that we are going to use questionnaire as your instrument, or you are going to use whatever instrument, how valid is that instrument? Has it been tested to be reliable? That's what you do in validity and reliability. Then you also state the procedures you use, ethical considerations, limitation of the study, and conclusion. You can check your department and see what they are doing, and then get idea on how you should do your own. You don't just start. I see some students writing projects from their head. Like, what I mean is they will just be writing without any project format. They'll be writing as if they are writing essay or storytelling. Research project is not done like that. That's why I always advise that you get another project from your department and follow this style. Assuming you don't know where to start to get your questionnaire items, like you want to get help, remember AI is for assistance, not to do the entire job for you. You can use AI to generate your questionnaire items. Let's do this. Now I have provided this prompt: generate 20 item questionnaire for a research project on the same topic we have been using. So if I click on enter, it will start to work, and as you can see, it started with the gender, age, school, background. So look at the question now. So this one is this type of question, this one is for yes or no, and the rest of them. So you can see how the questionnaire is structured. You can decide to change the prompts and let AI do the job by itself. For example, if I don't like the structure of this question, I can say use only Likert scale. Then do you see it? It will not generate question based on Likert scale. So this is how AI will help you to generate your question. Remember, some of them may not be appropriate. You need to work on them so that you don't just do copy and paste. Now, the next thing you will do is to share this questionnaire. You can do it by printing them out and share it to your respondents. If you don't want to do that, you can also share it online. You can use any survey tool of your choice. Something like Google Form is very effective and popular. So if I go to Google Form, here I can design the form by myself. After designing the form, you share the link with your respondents. Once they finish responding, you can download it into Excel. It's not a big deal. You can download it to Excel. Now let us focus on how you can also analyze this form after your respondent must have filled the forms and sent back to you, whether it is online or offline. Then in chapter 4, we'll have data analysis and data presentation. All the data that you have gathered, you will now start the analysis, then you also present it. So first of all, after your introduction, you show your data preparation, then the qualitative data analysis, and finally you summarize your findings and also give conclusion. But this thing is not exactly the same in all departments. Okay, for example, if your department is in electrical, electronics engineering, or mechanical engineering, or any engineering department, or even in computer science, your chapter 3 and chapter 4 are going to be different with what I have now. This is why I have prepared computer science chapter 3 and chapter 4 as an example. If you are in any other department for that matter, look at what they are doing and see how you should organize yours. For computer science, what you will have after your introduction is analysis of existing system, because what they normally do in computer science is to develop an application, software, maybe web application or mobile application, usually software development. You analyze the existing system. For example, if they want to develop a software where travelers will book for transport online, you check what do they normally do before. So do passengers come to the park and pay? So you analyze the existing system. Now you also analyze the new system. How are you going to implement the new system? After the analysis, you design your new system. These are the things you do in chapter 3. Then in your chapter 4, you briefly introduce chapter 4. Then choose your development environment. What environment are you going to use to do your development? During our days, we normally use Visual Basic, but Visual Basic is now obsolete. So you may choose to use HTML, CSS, and JavaScript if it is just for front-end development. If it will include back-end, you will also need something like PHP or Django Python. You understand? Okay, so this is where you choose your development environment. Then you also state your implementation architecture, how you are going to implement it. Then the next thing is your software testing. Okay, after developing a software, you need to test it. The next thing is documentation or user manual. Both of them can just come as one. Some call it documentation, while others call it user manual. Whatever is prevalent in your school, you can use that. So this is what chapter 3 and chapter 4 looks like in computer science department. Okay. Then in chapter 5 is where we'll have summary and recommendations. So you summarize your findings, discuss your results, recommend for further studies. Okay, and finally you do your conclusion. So what I will do now is that I will open Excel. Here we are assuming that this is just our question. Remember, the one we asked ChatGPT to generate for us are 20 in number, but I'm just using these 3 for example. You can choose this for strongly disagreed, disagreed, undecided, agreed, and strongly agreed. I have also wrote them here, and I used a kind of coding so that it will be easy for you to perform these statistical operations on them. Apart from these link cards, we also coded the gender using 1 for male and 2 for female. You can as well group their age using a bracket, say 20 to 31, 31 to 42, and 41 and above 3. It's usually a good practice to use lesser number for lesser age brackets. Now, assuming I have this as my questionnaire and people have responded accordingly, let me now go to sheet 2 so that we'll do the analysis proper. In sheet 2, I am using 5 respondents, and for this particular question, the responder number 1 said strongly agreed. Remember our coding, strongly agreed. Then respondent number 2 did the same thing and all of that. So if you want to find out the mean, that's the average for this particular question, all you need to do is to click here and then come to the formula bar and type equal to average brackets. You then highlight the entire of this row, that is from here to this place, C2 to G2, and then close the brackets and press enter. It will give you the mean or the average for this particular question, how they responded. You can also drag this thing down to get the rest of the questions. You can see. And when you even look at the response, you will see that it tallies with the mean. Another thing that is popular in research statistical data analysis is standard deviation. Standard deviation is to check how these people agreed, whether there is too much gap between them. So let's do this. I'll place my set pointer here and then type the formula, which is equals to stdev.s. That one is for sample. Then open a bracket, highlight this thing again to this place. Remember, we are just testing the response. Then close the brackets and press enter. Click on the first one and drag it down. So I may decide to use just 2 decimal points. I will click here to get that. So this is my standard deviation. Okay, remember that we agreed from the beginning that you should have already written projects from your department, so you will see how they presented their data and use the same style to present your own data. Again, assuming we want to do some statistical charts, like we want to present a chart, we can use this to demonstrate that where 24 male responded and we have 15 females, and again about 3 persons did not indicate whether they are male or female. So to do this, I'll just highlight the range, then go to insert and click on charts. The type of chart I will choose is pie chart. Once I click on it, I'll choose the first one, and we have our charts here. So the color grading is showing you their numbers. So this is how you can do your data analysis using Microsoft Excel. Remember, this is basically for undergraduates. If you are doing a postgraduate program, you will need to use a more professional data analysis software like SPSS or the engineering software if you are in engineering departments. If you would like to learn advanced Excel to do descriptive statistics, or you want to do inferential statistics using SPSS, I have a separate course that teaches how to do this. Just contact me and I will give you the link. Talking about AI detector tool, when you paraphrase a text using QBots as we have learned, the AI tool may still detect it. Because of that, I am introducing you to this particular software called Paraphraser. So once you enter text here and paraphrase it, it is likely not to be detected by AI tool. For example, I've just entered this text. I will go on and click on paraphrase. After stating that I am not a robot, then click on paraphrase now button. It will count this process and give you this. So when you try it with AI detector, it will be free from detection. Now let us look at how to use AI detector tool. The one we are going to use is known as GPT. You can just go to this address and start to use it. So if I enter this text here and ask it to check whether it is AI detected, you can see it says it's 100% AI generated. You can see all of them. Now what I will do is to paraphrase it using Paraphraser, because if you use QBots, it's still going to detect it as AI generated. So if I come to Paraphraser, you can sign up from here, paraphraser.io. If you enter this text here and state that I am not a robot, then click on paraphrase now button. It will count this process. After that, it will show you this result. Now let us copy this text to see if it is still AI generated. So I will copy it here. Ctrl C for copy, then come back to AI detector, which is GPT. So if I come back to GPT and enter the test and click on detector test, as you can see, it is now 0% AI generated. You see, this is how you can do this so that your institution will not catch you that you are using AI to write your project. Remember to read and rework this thing. Remember to read it and confirm that they are correct. So this is the end of chapters in project writing. I believe this was helpful. Join me as we now go to the next lesson for the conclusion. Okay, you are welcome back to the concluding part of this online course. Concerning writing your project with AI assisted, we are looking at closing pages. When you are writing your projects and you are done with your chapters, the next thing you are going to write is your references. You understand? So your references is where you now list all the work that you cited during the course of your project. Remember, as we discussed, when you are writing your project, you will be making references to other people who have studied related topic. At the end of your study, you list all the people that you have cited. We call it references. The mistake some students do is that they will go and copy references from wherever, maybe from another person's project or what, I don't know, and now use it to make up their own project. No, now, things are not done like that. That is not how to write your project. As you are writing, we'll be making citation. Those work that you cited, you now list them in your last pages of your project as reference, depending on the referencing style your institution is using. Many institutions use APA referencing style. We are currently in APA version 7, okay? Any citation that appears in the body of your project must be referenced here. Any reference you have here must also be appeared in the body of your work. Anyone that is not in each other should be entirely removed. In AI tools that we have used, you have seen how to generate citation. You can also use it to generate references. It's not that difficult. At the end of the day, you put your appendices. Assuming you use questionnaire to carry out your research, you can add it as your appendices. For those in computer science, you can put your coding list in your appendices. And depending on your institution preferences, there might be any other thing that you add in your closing pages. Okay? So having a project from your department handy is very, very important and necessary. So coming to the end, we are going to introduce yet another interesting AI tool. That particular one is called Perplexity. This time we are going to use it to do our references. For example, you have forgotten how to write references. Maybe the one you are looking at, it is not well organized, you don't understand it. You can just use Perplexity to get your references. Let's see. Show me examples of APA reference style. So once I do that, I'll click next. Perplexity will go to work and show me different examples based on APA reference style. I hope you understand this now. This time, there is no way you won't be able to write your project using AI. You don't have to pay anybody to write your project. Even the statistical work, anyone you don't understand, the AI is there to answer your questions and even pull up some YouTube videos for you to go and watch, including courses that you can watch and get more insights. So what are you waiting for? I will encourage you to recommend this course to your friends, even your younger ones, so they will also benefit like you, okay? Do not go out because we still have a lot of AI tools we may like to see. The next thing we'll be looking at is different AI tools that we did not use during the course of this training. I will be bringing them for you so that you know that things like this exist. So we'll be starting with AI writer tools. The number one is ChatGPT. We have used ChatGPT here and it is very popular. In fact, it is because of the launching of ChatGPT that you see so many AI tools going viral because they made their own free to use and what have you. Before then, we had some other AI tools, but they were not free. Okay. We have also seen Perplexity AI. We have explained that Perplexity AI is good for research writing. Another one that is also good for research writing is Trinker AI. You can also go and check it out. Another one is WordVice AI. Another one is also Cloud AI. Cloud AI, just like ChatGPT and Perplexity, will allow you to start using them free without paying anything. And there are so many other AI writer tools. There are so many of them. These are just a kind of examples. After AI writer tool, we also have AI paraphrasing tools. Paraphrasing tools will help you to rework a sentence or a paragraph. Maybe you see a concept and you want to change it so that it will not look exactly the same with the concept. You can use AI paraphrasing to change it. This does not mean that you go and copy another person's work and start paraphrasing them. No, it is not like that. Remember, some AI detector tool will also detect the place where you paraphrase them from. So, but this is just for ethical use, okay? Another paraphrasing tool is paraphraser.io. This is also okay. Why I like paraphraser.io is because whatever it paraphrases is somehow free from AI content detector tools, okay, unlike Quillbot. But remember that you have to look at it again and correct some of the sentences. Another one is Grammarly. Grammarly is actually not a paraphrasing tool. It is for grammar checking and spell checking. It is also very good when you are writing content. You can get the pro version. I think it costs about $12 per month. Then next one is Hemingway app. It's good for checking the readability of your content. You can go and check it out. Remember, there are so many other paraphrasing tools. Then the next one is AI citation tools. We have used QuickBooks during the course of this training. You can also check other citation tools like Typesets, IO Citation, Petal Citation Generator, Cite AI, and so many other ones. Then for AI content detector tools, we have Turnitin. Turnitin is not really an AI content detector tool, but a plagiarism tool. Turnitin has been there before this AI generation happened. You understand? So Turnitin is basically for plagiarism. It can also check for AI detection. Another one is originality. Originality will check if a content is AI generated. Then we'll have another one called GPT-0. We'll have GPT-0. We also have 0GPT. You can use any of them. We also have content scale, and we also have copy leak. Why are these tools important? It's not meant for your supervisor or school administrators to use them to catch you when you generate something using AI. No. When you write your content, you can use them to check if your content is detectable by AI content detectors. If they are detectable, you can go and use a paraphrasing tool to rework them. Okay, I hope you got the idea. Okay, let me introduce you to yet another AI tool. For example, you have a lot of research work in PDF that you would like to read in order to help you to carry out your own research. But there are too many and you don't even know where to start. There is an AI tool that will help you to do it. It is called ChatPDF. Let me show you. If you come to this website, chatpdf.com, all you need to do is to upload your PDF file here and you will chat with the document. Let's do that. I have this PDF file on online learning, a panacea in the time of COVID-19 crisis. So if I drag this file and put it on ChatPDF, it will process in order to upload it. Once it is uploaded, AI immediately initiated a chat saying hello and welcome. It has started talking about this particular PDF document. So I can say in a chat here, summarize this document. So I will then click on this button. AI will go to work and start to summarize it for me. Do you see? It has given me a summary because the file normally is 18 pages, but it has given me a quick summary here. I hope you understand. So I can also go on and ask more questions. For example, I say, what is the significance of this work? Then I click next. It will search the entire work and bring out what the significance. This is how to do your research with AI, and you can complete your project research in a record time. You don't need to pay anyone. Finally, I am going to introduce you to our final AI tool. This tool is known as Google Gemini. So if you go to Google, for example, you will see people searching how to write project proposal. Look at it here. How to write project proposal. And if you don't know how to write it and you come to Google to search for it, Google will gather information from so many areas that it will take you time to read. Okay, look at it, all this information that Google will pull out for you, and you will start to open them one by one to read them. But you can use AI to get information on how to write project proposal. Let me show you a tool that will help you to do that. The name of that tool is Google Gemini. So if I come to Google Gemini, I already signed up, that's why it recognizes me, and I enter the prompt, how to write project proposal. Then I click submit. Google will go to work and state in detail how to write project proposal, so that I don't have to download so many documents just to get this information. Do you see AI helping us to solve our problem? It will show you even additional information. See, it won't be very nice if I don't tell you about this legend. This legend has been there for us for a very long time. The name of this tool is Google Scholar. Google Scholar basically is not an AI tool, but it is very useful when it comes to academic research. Instead of using normal Google search that will pull information from so many places, Google Scholar will focus on academic documents. It is also very good for citation. That will be the end for this lesson. I hope this made your day and you won't have to pay any person again to write your project for you. Please let me know what you feel about this course. If this course was helpful, please go to the customer review area and write your honest review about this course. Please, this will help others who are looking for help to buy this course and get help just like you. You can also follow me on my YouTube channel, where I will be giving other digital tools that are helpful both for education and for business. Until next time, bye.